Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the South of England finals of the AccelerateHER Awards 2022 in partnership with Barclays Eagle Labs. My name is Elizabeth Pirrie. I'm your MC for the morning, and as Chief Operating Officer of AccelerateHER, I'm always telling people how I have the best job in the world. By the end of this morning, after hearing from just a small sample of the incredible female founders that I get to speak to every day, I think you'll understand why I say that. Now, at this point, I would normally be explaining that we're not expecting any fire drills, that the toilets are situated through the doors at the back of the hall. But since you're all responsible for your own escape routes and bathroom breaks, I shall instead pass over to Jackie Waring, CEO and founder of AccelerateHER, to say a few words of welcome and encouragement. Jackie. Jackie, you're on mute.
I'm sorry, folks. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
It keeps muting me. Sorry. I'll start that again, folks. Good morning and welcome. And thank you so much for taking the time to join us today for the AccelerateHER finals, South of England. This is actually the first year that we've been UK-wide with the awards. And we're absolutely thrilled to see all of you here with us today. It's been amazing. Even the journey to come here and the founders that we've met have been absolutely wonderful. So, as Elizabeth said, I founded AccelerateHER, and we have been helping ambitious female founders to grow and scale and get connected, access investors, and build international connections since 2015. So it's the 7th year that we've actually run the awards, but as I say, the first year UK-wide and obviously the first year in the south of England. And we're absolutely blown away by the caliber and innovation that we are seeing amongst all the finalists. And for those of you joining us as guests today, you're about to be blown away by what you're going to see. It's just so exciting to see such talent, and I really don't envy the judges at all. They have a very tough job ahead of them. So the whole reason that we have these awards is to shine a light on these founders and their companies, to give them a platform for high visibility and to help them get connected with people who can help them open doors, and also to be seen by potential investors. And this has really worked over the years because we've only scaled up now. So our numbers of finalists have not been a huge number in the years building up to this year, but nevertheless, more than £43 million of seed investment has been raised by companies seen at these finals. So thank you so much to Barclays Eagle Labs for helping us make this possible to go UK-wide. We absolutely love working with you. Great partners, great support to the founders. It's an absolute pleasure. For the audience and the many other would-be female founders that are out there, and I hope going to be watching this, you are going to be so inspired by what you see. And that's a really big part of the objectives behind the awards as well. And for the founders pitching today, good luck to you all. We know you can do it. We've seen how good you are already. Just you go for it. So without any more ado, I'm sure that everybody's anxious to get started. So let's get on with the show, and I'll pass you back to Elizabeth. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Yes, you're right. We do have a jam-packed schedule this morning, so let's get down to business. You'll shortly hear a 3-minute pitch from each of our finalists in turn. We have 4 categories and 3 finalists in each category as follows. In CleanTech and Climate, we have Molly Allington of Albotherm, Zhixuan Wang of Algreen, and Claudia Gwinnutt of Circla. In Disruptive Innovation, we have Lynsey Cowlishaw of Heroine Media, Nina Jane Patel of Kabuni, and well, it says Stella Smith of Pirkx, but she's been substituted by Claire Cousins today due to unforeseen circumstances. In FinTech, Data Science and Cybersecurity, we have Alex Harris of Adadot, Katrin Herrling of Funding Xchange, and Jessica Mendoza of Monadd. Finally, in Science and MedTech, we have Grace Gimson of Holly Health, Emma Amoscato of Smile, and Lucie Hayter of The Gut Feeling. Prepare to be very impressed, and apologies finalists to any of you whose names I got wrong there. After each pitch, the finalists will answer questions from our three judges. This year, I am delighted to welcome Daisy King of Barclays, Susan Elliott of the British Business Bank, and Trish McLeay from Barclays Eagle Labs. And we'll hear a bit more about them later. Now, I allow a maximum of 3 minutes for questions per participant, which isn't long. So judges, please do keep your questions short. It's really tempting to say, oh, that was a great pitch. Well done. You did so well there. Cut out the preamble, get straight into the question, and founders equally make your answer nice and concise to make the most of those 3 minutes. And you will notice I did use the word maximum. I am renowned for my strict timekeeping, and I use my trusty bell to help with that. You have 3 minutes to pitch, and at the end of the 3 minutes, I will ring my bell, and you should stop as soon as you hear the bell. Again, at the end of the 3 minutes of questions, I will ring my bell. If you're in the middle of answering a question, wrap up your answer as quickly as possible. If the judge is in the middle of asking a question, I will allow them to finish the question, but you should then respond to that question in a private chat message to that judge. Hopefully that makes sense for everyone. To those of you who are watching along, either from your office or from home, I'm sure there will be questions that you're dying to ask of the founders. Please make use of the Q&A section that you see at the bottom of the screen and ask your questions. The founders will answer them once they've finished with the judges. So with all that said, let's get going. Good luck, finalists. We're starting with the CleanTech, Climate and Net Zero category, and the finalists pitch in alphabetical order according to their company name. So Molly Allington of Albotherm has the rather daunting task of going first. How are you doing, Molly?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good, and you're all ready with your slides. I was going to ask if you had slides, so just in your own time, you can start.
At Albotherm, we are developing technologies that control our world's most powerful, abundant, and underutilized resource, the light of the sun. In greenhouses, the light of the sun keeps crops warmer year-round. However, this can cause problems in the height of summer, where overheating stresses crops, cutting yields by up to 25%. To combat this effect, farmers currently shade their greenhouse roofs every year with white paints, which solves the overheating but blocks that all-essential light. The rule of thumb for farmers is that 1% extra light means 1% extra yield, and this can bring up to £14,000 of additional revenue per hectare. Our solution is a smart coating that reversibly transitions from transparent to opaque white as it heats up. Our technology is the only product in this space that allows the early morning light to shine through while protecting crops from the midday heat. So far, we have great traction in the greenhouse space. This summer, we're completing trials with Rothamsted Research, and in 2023, we have 7 farmers lined up to take part in commercial trials, 6 of which are progressing towards paid pilots. We're also pursuing licensing deals with some of the biggest names in the industry, giving us access to their global distribution channels. This includes one of the world's largest glass manufacturers, as well as leaders in the horticultural industry. And through these partnerships, we believe we can service 30% of the world's high-tech greenhouses, bringing £170 million worth of sales. We also have some early traction in our later markets with polytunnel manufacturers, as well as in buildings with a distributor to the hospitality industry. Initially, our business model will be direct sales to larger, innovative greenhouses to give us that end-user feedback while we continue R&D. Next, we plan to sell bespoke products to greenhouse manufacturers, and in 2025, we hope to secure a major distribution deal, helping us capture a wider market, initially in the UK, before moving on to Europe and to North America. We also plan to launch product to the retail market for home gardeners, and beyond this, we will focus on building out products for polytunnels and for the built environment. We are a small but growing team at the moment, with myself as the CEO and co-founder. Dr. Sian Fussell is our CTO, who invented this technology while completing her PhD at the University of Bristol. Dr. Kaylee Marshall is our lead formulation chemist, who worked for 5 years in the paints and coatings industry before starting at Albotherm. We also have an advisory board, and we are currently seeking advisors with experience in horticulture, agritech, or in paints and coatings. To take us to the next stage, we are now raising £600,000 of EIS eligible funding, following on from a £160,000 SAS round, which we closed last year. This funding will fuel our scale up and expand our team ahead of commercial trials in 2023. Thank you so much for your time, and I now welcome any questions.
Thanks so much.
Oh, sorry, well done, Molly. Yes, judges, do just jump in with your questions. Don't put your hand up, just jump in.
Great. I've got a quick question for you, Molly. So first one is around what percentage of crop yields are grown in greenhouses, or what is the total addressable market of the greenhouse growers customers that you're targeting?
So the total addressable market is around £500 million. So this is based on just the glass greenhouses, but actually most of the world's greenhouses are plastic polytunnel greenhouses. So this market is much, much bigger. We've started with glass greenhouses because the product is a bit technically easier to make as a coating for glass, but we plan to kind of capture that wider global market in the future once we've built out our kind of technical capabilities.
Molly, you mentioned about 170 of sort of future sales. Where do you see the growth? How do you see like when are you going to get your first traction of money in, to how quickly is it going to reach that 170 million?
So next year we start on our first kind of trials, and that will be paid pilots. And then the year after that is when we'll kind of fully launch. So progress will be slow initially, but we think that through the distribution deals with glass manufacturers and with distributors, that within 3 to 5 years we'll be reaching that 170 million.
Okay, thanks.
Can I ask about intellectual property? And whilst you mentioned that it was one of the only ways to do what you're doing, there are other coatings presumably, but what protection have you got on your technology?
So at the moment, the technology is a trade secret. So we are drafting a patent application, which is going to be filed in the next few months. But we have all the rights to our own intellectual property, even though we are a spin out of the University of Bristol. So we will be filing patents for our technology in the near future.
Okay, thanks. And unless anybody's, I was just going to say I mentioned about other ways of doing this. There's competition from, I don't know, putting a sheet over the roof or anything like that. How you found a different way of doing it? Is that the opaqueness? Is that right?
Yeah. So like you say, there is a lot of kind of competition out there that is quite low tech. So the main one for greenhouses is just white paints that they spray. So ours will roughly be the same price over the years, because one of the benefits of our coating is that because it turns back to transparent, you don't have to remove it every year, which is what they're currently doing. And so that also cuts back on waste, and you get more light through to improve crop yields as well. So we think it's kind of a bit of a no-brainer to switch to our product.
So a similar price point as well. That was one of the other questions.
Yeah, over the long term. So I think we're looking to do a kind of pricing plan so that they wouldn't have to pay a significant more amount up front.
Is there a life to the product then, in terms of if you put it on, does it last X number of years?
Molly, can you answer that? Sorry, can you answer that in the chat? Because we're out of time there.
Okay.
So the judges need just a little bit of time between each pitch to note down their scores and any notes. So you'll hear a little bit of preamble from me in between. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit more about our judges. And first up is Daisy King, Innovations Programmes Manager at Barclays. Daisy's been involved in AccelerateHER Awards in the background for a couple of years now, but we've finally got her in front of the camera to be a judge. Daisy's been involved with RISE, Barclays Global FinTech platform, so we'll be particularly interested in our FinTech finalists today. But Daisy, thank you so much for giving your time to be here. If the judges are all ready, we will move on to our next finalist, which is Zhixuan Wang of Algreen.
Hi, I'm Zhixuan. I'm going to share my screen. So
okay.
Screen right now.
Yeah, I can see that now. You just need to go into presentation mode, and that'll be you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Zhixuan from Algreen. we developed the most sustainable and decarbonized solution to polyurethane. Polyurethane is the 6th largest biochemical traded internationally. Traditional polyurethane is from petrochemical. In Algreen, we deliver the fully bio-based polyurethane and able to achieve 50% carbon reduction. We use clean process to achieve water saving. Our fully bio-based formula is able to achieve 50% carbon reduction. Our polyurethane is compositable, recyclable, waterproof, and chemical-proof. Algreen is the first company able to achieve 100% bio-based formula, and our formula is 50% carbon reduction. All of our competitors are only 30% carbon reduction. Everywhere people need a glue, so Algreen is able to support 10 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We have products in sustainable fashion, like our compositable vegan leather, which is waterproof, chemical-proof, fire reductant, and thermal insulated. We also use our adhesive in making VOC-free chipboard furniture. We also do biodegradable label, which means when you recycle your packaging, you do not need to remove your label first. Currently, we have series suppliers. We also have subcontractor help with production. Later, we will build our own factory. We have different sales channels and focusing on the sustainable fashion market. The sustainable fashion market worth 147 billion. Algreen is aiming to achieve 100 million in revenue in 2029. We currently have 3 Innovate UK grants, enterprise fellowship from Royal Academy of Engineering, support from National Geographic and Bloomberg. We delivered a manufacturer calibration with Asia Polyurethane. After we launched our product to the market early this year, we already secured 2 contracts. I'm Zhixuan. I'm the founder of Algreen. We have Angus help about our manufacturer. We also have Maki support marketing. All of us meet at Imperial. We also have a lot of advisors support business. Last year, we developed our MVP. This year, we efficiently progressed to our revenue stage and working towards our seed funding. In 2024, we are aiming to achieve 5 million in revenue. In the future, Algreen will be the next generation bathfood focusing on bio-based biochemicals. We are Algreen. We treat natural with natural. Thank you so much.
Excellent, great timing as well. Judges, your questions?
Hi, thanks for that. So in regards to the commercials, how much more will it cost to purchase your Algreen products versus other less carbon efficient petrol alternatives?
So basically it will be in terms of your business needs. For example, currently we're focusing on the vegan leather, and there are a lot to criticize about vegan leather. And if you are not fully bio-based, which means you may be like a little bit carbon saving, but apparently your clothes is not recyclable because it has the plastics. And our price, it will be like a relatively higher compared to the plastic based, but is quite similar. It's almost the same as the other sustainable products.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. So you're muted.
Sorry, what inspired you to, drove you to the fashion market to start there first?
Oh, that is very interesting. We have some discussions with our customer because at the beginning we connect with furniture market, also packaging market, and then we find the designer, they are the group of people easy to communicate with, and also they are very happy to have new products and very happy to try our products. And then we decide to have more collaborations with designer, and also like, for example, if we want to do packaging, and there's a lot of regulations in terms of food packaging. So which means we need, if we want to go to the market, it may be relatively long. But for fashion industry, like it's relatively, it's not no industry barrier, but relatively low industry barrier. Yeah.
Thank you.
And talking about other people and competitors, is anybody else out there looking at approaching this problem in a similar way to you?
Yeah, as you can see, there are a lot of large companies like Shell, Basfu, and all of those chemical companies, because my background is like chemical engineering. So in terms of chemistry, that is very novel. And our formula is fully bell-based. We are the first commercial available fully bell-based formula. So we are really very advanced.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, judges. Well done, Zhixuan.
Thank you.
So our next judge is Susan Elliott, Senior Manager of the UK network for the South East at the British Business Bank. Susan has been with the bank now for nearly 2 years, but this is not the first time she's worked with Barclays Eagle Labs, as I see that in a previous company she collaborated with them and Herrling Business School to run an innovation catalyst. So I imagine Susan's going to be really excited by all the innovation that she sees here today. Thank you, Susan, for giving your time today to do this. I'm just trying to see the judges look like they're about ready. So we shall now have our last CleanTech and Climate finalist, which is Claudia Gwinnutt of Circla. Claudia, you're great. You've got your slides ready already.
Great, excellent. Ready to go?
Ready when you are.
The packaging waste crisis is one of the most defining environmental issues of our time. Every year, 120 billion units of packaging is created by the beauty and personal care industry alone. Only 13% of this waste is recycled and only 1% is reused. We are simply consuming too much for a strained system to handle, but that is where Circla steps in. At Circla, we have taken inspiration from the traditional milkman service and reimagined this for the beauty industry and the modern day consumer. So why us? Well, firstly, we remove all the fuss associated with existing refill models by delivering and collecting empty packaging directly from your doorstep. Next up, we've stocked the largest selection of planet positive beauty, home and lifestyle products than any of our competitors, including award-winning brands like Evolve and Upcircle. We also remove the premium often associated with refills by incentivizing positive behavior over high deposit fees. And all of this comes together in 4 simple steps. Customers order from our e-commerce store, products are delivered emission-free in a Circla reusable bag, empties are placed back into that bag, collected by us, washed and ready for the world again. Launched at the end of 2020 with a pilot, by March 2021, we'd raised just under £300,000 and had been part of the prestigious Sustainable Ventures Accelerator programme. We've recently expanded to cover all of London. We now have over 200 products on our platform and have an 85% refill request rate. 2 weeks ago, we also launched our first ever pop-up on Portobello Road. The team has been formed by myself, ex-Barclays with nearly a decade of operational and management experience, and Romilly, a recent graduate who has spearheaded our marketing activities with a small team of 19 to 22-year-old interns. And where are we going? We are currently seeking £1 million in funding. This will fuel our expansion, enable us to build out our team, but most excitingly, launch our bespoke reusable Circla packaging. And what exactly is the opportunity? Well, demand and innovation has put the beauty sector at the heart of the UK economy, but the industry is experiencing a makeover, with over 85% of consumers indicating they would rather prefer to buy greener products. Our initial target market presents a £500 million opportunity in London alone. And if you aren't convinced, well, some of this folk are. We have been featured everywhere from Harper's Bazaar to the Daily Mail, and last year won the best circular beauty brand only 6 months after launching by Mary Claire. At Circla, we only believe in one thing, that it is time we all break up with single-use packaging, because it is time to go Circla.
Well done. Questions, judges?
Thanks, Claudia. A shift like this is going to require a significant change in customer kind of routine and behaviours, I would say. So what is your USP and what's going to keep customers coming back?
Yeah, excellent question. So for us, it's really around removing the inconvenience associated with lots of other refill models. So we make it as easy as possible. We have no subscriptions. We come directly to your door. If you haven't remembered or you're not in, we can collect your packaging next time. And we personally found that's why we see customers keep coming back. So once the customer's in, you know, we have an 85% return rate, and we're now seeing average orders between 80 to 100 pounds. So as long as we keep adding in more products and we keep removing that inconvenience, we found that customers keep coming back to us.
Claudia, I can understand the logistics and working in the cities like London, but what's your thoughts about going more rural, where there's obviously less concentration of people?
Yes, definitely. So this is what part of our funding will enable us to do. So we're actually in final conversations with a really large retailer, which will enable us to have a Circla stand in their retail shops, and customers can actually, in more rural areas where people have kind of different shopping habits as well, return the packaging in store. But unlike a refill shop where you have to remember to take your packaging, with us you could still buy another Circla product and then just next time return your empties.
What have you got in terms of technology? Is it just the platform to see what products that you can fill?
Yeah, so at the moment it's an e-commerce store. There's loads of different things that we want to be able to do in terms of really being able to show transparency into what the products are, because we're quite selective on who we do work with. And the next part of the fundraise is also to be able to let customers really see and understand their impact. And that's a lot of when I talked about our new packaging, each pack would be tracked, customers can see their impact. And we do really believe that this, back to the first question, also drives behavior change. So rather talking about things from a positive than a negative perspective enables people to see, okay, if I change these 4 products over a year, this is my impact. So that's the kind of underlying tech, but the new packaging is completely digitally tracked, and that's what we're raising money for. We've designed it, we just need to put it into production.
Claudia, is there a reason you've gone B2C and not B2B2C?
So we have got partnerships for B2B. So again, it's part of the raise, working with hotels, working with restaurants who've been speaking to corporate offices, because ultimately at any point where you see a hand soap, that hand soap could be refilled and reused by Circla. And I think that is a large part of our kind of expansion plans and scalability as well. But yeah, we see it as a kind of there's 3 parts of our business: big cities, rural areas, and then a B2B model. Saved by the bell.
Sorry, Trish.
It's okay.
If you desperately
Get a memory of being of a few years back.
pop a question in the chat for Claudia if you want to. That finishes our CleanTech and climate category. Not sure how the judges are going to choose between those 3, so good luck. And yes, I am about to move on to the last of our judges, Trish McClay, Ecosystem Manager. Trish has a number of years' experience in banking before moving into entrepreneurial support. I first met Trish when she was Ecosystem Manager at the Edinburgh Eagle Lab, where we've previously hosted our finals in real life. And I seem to remember on that day having to ring the bell on you quite a lot as well. I'll try not to make a habit of it today. We're going to move on now to our Disruptive Innovation category, and up first in that category is Lynsey Cowlishaw of Heroine Media. Lynsey, are you ready? Now you're on mute.
Yes, I am.
Do you have slides to share?
I do. I'm just doing that now.
Excellent.
There we go.
Okay, ready when you are.
All right. Heroine Media are bringing UK heritage to life. We are a female-led team of self-confessed history geeks, and when visiting heritage sites, we've been disappointed. We've gone as a group, but been given headphones to listen to information alone, creating an isolating experience. And where are the women? I'm Lynsey, and I come from an immersive theatre background, and I know there's a better way. Think of the success of Punch Drunk and Secret Cinema. We are bringing that together with the enormous video game sector to heritage in the form of Heroine City, an interactive documentary game. Think Netflix's Bandersnatch meets Doctor Who, where you time travel to meet your favourite heroines. Imagine if you could press a button, ask them questions, and have them talk back to you on your screen, only then to turn around and realise they are actually standing next to you in person, guiding you through the experience. Either way, you're going to have fun and you're going to learn while doing it. We have years of experience in entertainment, and putting these sectors together means cross-promotion, data analysis, and many ways to exploit the IP we create. Our target clients are the 400,000 UK heritage sites servicing millions of visitors annually. We will create bespoke episodes of the game with each heritage site and license it to them, while also selling directly to the player via app downloads. The game will be episodic, so you can play the series and continue on after the first play, whether that be in person or remote. With funding from Innovate UK, we are creating the first introduction episode right now of the game and launching in May. We want to have people that are potential customers come and experience the game themselves so they can see how great it is. At the same time, we are creating a Heroine City online community with our podcast and YouTube channel. We are in talks to create our first episode with heritage locations so that we can trial it in situ this year. Winning this award would help fund this next phase. We have an amazing team, award-winning branching narrative who created the game engine, business advisor Innovate Edge and AccelerateHER, IP advisors at Lewis Silkin and Yale, the best intern and podcast partner anyone could wish for. We are also working with Daisy Morris at the Selfhood to create our launch marketing campaign. These are projected figures based on just podcasting and B2B sales with the team we have. This can be doubled and tripled as we build the team to meet demand. Our vision in 5 years' time is that you will have played our game at a heritage site and you will know the names of the women on this slide, and maybe you will have even had a conversation with one of them. Thank you.
Impeccable timing. Questions from the judges?
I've got a question about target market. You mentioned about the areas and the sites, but in terms of who would use this? Do you see it as a specific type of visitor, whether it's age profile or whatever?
I mean, we're trying to appeal to people that visit the site. So obviously it's people that are interested in history, but at the same time, we're going to use things like TikTok to bring in a younger audience. And we're going to do very specific campaigns on social media to different age demographics. One of the first things we're doing right now with Daisy at the Selfhood is starting to explore that. So we're going to put out adverts, see what the traction gets. I obviously, I'm a history geek, and it's something that I felt that I wanted to play, and people I speak to, their ears prick up and their eyes are wide open and they want to play. But it'll be interesting to see how many of those are people that then come to heritage sites to play it, because you can play it at home as well. And that's the idea, is that you can play it at home, get the bug, and then want to go and see this place in person and play it differently with hidden buttons and extra things that you can do on site. So there will be, say, a 2-week period in the summer where you can go and play it with the characters at a location. So the idea is that we're bringing new audiences to heritage, but at the same time, it will be interesting for those people that have gone to a heritage site many times to play this and see things in a different way.
Thanks.
So I have a question then around the stickiness of it. So once you've been to a site and you've played the game, what's going to keep people coming back?
So you can basically just add to the episodes. You can find different narratives. Obviously it's endless as far as the wealth of stories, and usually even with one location it's multi-layered. You can go to different characters and decide that this time it's going to focus on this person. Also, within that you can play it differently and add extra things on to the one episode, as well as adding an episode. So you can click on an image and find out more about a certain room or a certain artifact. So it's pretty limitless as far as once you get the first person in and they're drawn in, we can then keep them going with lots of different things they can do.
I might have missed this, but in terms of who pays, is it the site that pays or the consumer that pays?
So we would create a B2B service so that we create the episode for a site, and that would be direct with them. They would pay, but then we would license that to them, and then they would have some sort of fee depending on what they think works for them and their specific location for people to then download. It could be part of a bundle with their ticket. Yeah, it could be that, and they would just have a QR code and download the experience there.
Thanks. And what would be the price point? Sorry, Trish.
For
Trish, you're on mute.
No, carry on. Answer the price point. That's fine first.
For them to buy from us.
I'm just wondering quite what it adds to the ticket price if it was done that way.
Well, as far as what we're bringing to the table, you mean for the B2B
Yes.
sale. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's bringing the whole community that we're building, which is Heroine City. So the idea being that we're going to bring
Sorry,
Wrap
Trish.
that up quickly, Lynsey.
so the idea being that we're going to bring a whole new community to the table, so that they're going to see all the people that have traction with the podcast, the whole brand, and there's merchandising opportunities. So even if whatever they want to use as their price point, we're bringing a whole load of other things that can bring traction and finances.
Thank you.
You've
Sorry
anything-
about that, Trish.
If you've anything to add to that, Lynsey, put it in the chat. And Trish, if you want to ask your question via the chat, and you'll have to get in quicker next time. So this is our third AccelerateHER final this week, with Wednesday seeing finalists from the north of England, Northern Ireland and Wales pitched to a panel of different judges. That was a fab morning with some great pitches, and our judges chose Jenny Johnson of My First 5 Years, Karen MacDonald of Farm Compare and Lottie Hawkins of Earthly Biochar as the winners. And then yesterday we had the Scottish finals, a different panel of judges again with a tough job of choosing from 12 incredible founders from 4 categories. In the end, the winners were Shoyan Ma of Danu Robotics in CleanTech, Climate and Net Zero, Danae Shell of Vala for Disruptive Innovation, Lynn Darcy Quigley of Knowit Global in the FinTech, Data Science and Cybersecurity, and finally in Science and MedTech, Ishani Malhotra of Carcinotech. Worth mentioning that both Lynn and Ishani had been finalists last year as well, so a note for this year's finalists, if you're not successful this year, it's always worth coming back for a second year. Carrying on with our Disruptive Innovation category now, we have Nina Jane Patel of Kabuni. Nina, are you there? And
I'm here.
You're all really good. You've got your slides ready. So just when you're ready, start.
This is the current state of the metaverse. Sexual harassment, bullying, strip clubs, Nazi concentration camps, dangerous by design, all for our children to freely explore. Now, the metaverse is a 360-degree virtual environment in which we are fully present, fully embodied, and fully immersed. The technology is designed and the fidelity is such that the lines between our reality and the virtual are blurred, especially for our children. The metaverse will change our lives. Right now, this moment today, we have an opportunity to decide. Will the future of the metaverse elevate our children's lives or damage it? Kabuni, we are on a mission to unlock the design potential in every child and elevate life by designing and building a safe metaverse for your child to explore, learn, and grow. Unimaginable immersive experiences centered around education that takes each child safely into the metaverse. We have designed and are manufacturing the world's only headset specifically for children ages 8 to 16, dedicated to education, sports, and health. We are harnessing the tools and the power of Web 3.0 and putting it into the hands of educators and caregivers today to support the future of our children tomorrow. We are finalizing our research and development program with partnership schools across 4 continents in partnership with academic institutions to ensure our rigorous, robust, and evidence-based methodology for the implementation and integration of immersive technology in the classroom and our homes. Our evidence-based methodology will drive our commercial roadmap, which will include a hardware purchase, content subscription, and in-app purchases. We will launch commercially in 2023 with our strategic metaverse partner, LG Electronics, to schools around the world and direct to families in their homes. I'm Nina Jane Patel. I'm a mom of 4, I'm a psychotherapist, and I'm a doctoral researcher in the psychological and physiological impact of virtual environments. And I'm the co-founder of Kabuni. I am not alone. I have a team of seasoned entrepreneurs and experienced ex-corporates who have built global teams and collectively created billions in annual sales. We are currently seeking a 20 million investment for Seed A round, which will provide us a 3-year runway. So right now, Kabuni is shaping the future of the metaverse, prioritizing safety and trust, a metaverse that will elevate your children's lives. Join us.
So that 3-year runway is, when will this first sales come in from that, or is that to build everything?
No, we'll go to pre-launch of sales in Q4 2022 with delivery into the homes in Q2 2023.
So, Nina, you say you want to unlock the design potential in every child, but typically this technology is super expensive and school budgets are tight. So how do you plan on getting this to mass market?
Well, we've already have school partnerships, a pilot program to initiate this. What we know through our market research is that teachers and schools are excited about the innovation and really want to understand how to use it to successfully integrate it into their lesson planning, into the education. We have a price model in which educators and schools will have an opportunity to purchase this for less than £1 a day per student. So we see this as a accessible item and a tool that will elevate the future of education, accessible to all.
And with that tapping into the student market, the schools market, are you going to go for the UK first, or go overseas where it's maybe easier to access?
We're currently, our pilot school programs, our partners are based here in the UK, also in Europe, South Africa, and Latin America.
I didn't catch all of the financials there, but you're on a 20 million raise. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
And where are you in terms of that? Is anything committed or? Yeah,
LG Electronics is committed till the end of June to complete a small specific piece of research, $100,000, and then a commitment of $2 million post that. We also have several venture funds and family trust offices interested in contributing to the initial 20 million.
Are they, just out of it, are they UK funds?
A combination all over the world.
Okay. No, I've got a different reason for asking that question.
Oh, okay.
No, it's because I'm just in terms of the UK need for some of the seed capital. So I'll come back to you on some of that.
Okay.
And on the subject, what do you see the need of getting, if you win, this competition, what would be the need to be able to go on that mission? What would you benefit from?
Sorry, if we win this, what would the benefit of winning?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a strong advocate and passionate about the safety of the future of the metaverse and the use of responsible ethical technology. And so it would really assist in getting the message out there, not only for Kabuni, but for the participation of all of us in shaping the future of the metaverse, whether it's for our children or for ourselves. Right now, we're at a paradigm shift in how technology is going to be integrated into our lives with immersive technology and the metaverse. Now's the time to really share this message.
Thanks very much, Nina. Where were you when my son was in that age group? That's all I'm going to ask. So I want to talk a wee bit more about the AccelerateHER Awards happening outside of Scotland. We are so delighted to have been able to do this in partnership with our friends at Barclays Eagle Labs. Barclays have, I think, 26 Eagle Labs throughout the UK, although I'm sure Daisy or Trish can correct me on that, because they've got more opening all the time. The labs are designed to complement their local community and add value to the ecosystem to create a thriving hub at the heart of the community. Through the labs, they offer many programs, incubators and working spaces, mentoring, and the chance to mix with like-minded entrepreneurs. I've had the chance to visit the labs in Scotland, and there's a real buzz about them, and I think some of the finalists are associated with the labs down south already, and will attest to that as well. Our final pitch in Disruptive Innovation is Stella Smith of Pirkx. Stella, I know you've had quite a stressful morning. Are you okay? Are you ready to go?
I am. I'm literally straight from A&E with a 4-year-old to here. So just me and no slides, and let's see how we go.
Okay, good luck.
Fantastic. Will you let me know? Are we ready to start?
Yes,
Good.
Just when you're ready.
Fantastic, thank you. Well, good morning. There are some 3.2 billion workers worldwide, and only 9% have access to workplace wellness solutions, which means that 91% are completely underserved. I can testify from A&E this morning that well-being is incredibly important. If we're not well, then we're not here at all. And workplace wellness includes important things like doctors and counsellors and physiotherapy. At Pirkx, our mission is to positively impact 1 million lives by 2025. And to be honest, I hope a fair few more. We've built a desktop and app because I was a small business owner that couldn't find workplace wellness solutions for my team because they were either inaccessible, unflexible, or just not available at all. And that's because my workers were made up of self-employed contract workers. So large organizations give workplace wellness to their teams, but if you own a small business or you're self-employed, contract worker, gig economy, self-employed, then you have no access at all. At Pirkx, we built a piece of technology for my team and then realized that here in the UK, there's some 22 million people that are caught up in that category. Our product brings together 24/7 access to a private GP for you and everybody in your household, 24/7 access to a counsellor, as many issues as you need, and 6 structured telephone sessions per day, digital physio, virtual gym classes, discounted gyms, and so much more. And we deliver it at a price point of £3.75 plus VAT per person per month. We have no contracts, you can cancel at any time because we believe our product should be good enough that you choose to stay. In terms of our corporate journey, we have had an amazing ride. So, to be honest, finger in the air, it's worth 5 million. We want to raise 750 at seed. We raised 1.1 million in under 11 weeks. Since then, we've built a nimble board, including Dan Cobley, the ex-MD of Google UK, who's our chair. We've launched Pirkx Australia last year to test and learn whether we can extrapolate, because the same problem here in the UK is the problem globally in pretty much every country. Our technology, we use that seed money to build an enterprise version of our business. Since then, we've onboarded the likes of one of the big 4 accounting firms, Hayes, Robert Half, IWG PLC, and that's all in the last 30 weeks. We're currently closing our round for our pre-Series A. And once we do that, we're going to upgrade our enterprise piece of technology, which will allow us to enter into any market from a tech dev perspective in sub 1 week. We do something good for the planet, I hope. And moreover, we have a commercial business that has a 59% gross margin that seeks profitability and sustainability through profitability rather than just mass acquire users and be a loss-making business. My team are fantastic, lots of big backgrounds, and we're here because we want to change things. You know, if you're not well, you're not at all. And we got the opportunity to use technology to democratize access to that for everybody.
Oh, bang on. Well done, Stella. Questions, judges?
Hi, Stella. Thank you for that. So obviously we've got the rise of kind of wellbeing apps like Calm and Headspace, and then we've also got the rise of doctor apps, you know, virtual doctor and things like that. What's your key differentiator?
Well, actually, that could be seen as competition, but for us, it's seen as potential proposition. So where Pirkx is different to everything else, the reason we keep getting called Disrupt the Disruptor is we're a horizontal platform. So the solve for well-being is difficult because well-being will mean something to you and something different to me. I think if I have a fizzy vitamin C in my water in the morning, I'm having a good day. Our FD is a 3 times UK kickboxing champion. So how do we solve well-being for all in one platform? And the answer is we took it back to the dictionary definition, the state of being happy, healthy, or comfortable, and we can work out the human determinants of happiness, the human determinants of health, and the human determinants of being more comfortable. And we serve up 5 channels covering all of that to bring it together. So those apps for us look like fantastic partners to bring into proposition.
And is your technology patent? Have you got any IP, or is it easy to, to copy what you've got?
Not easy to copy. We've probably got an 18-month to 24-month head start on the big players. So when I sit down with the big boys in the market, they kind of like our technology. But ultimately, we will start to trademark some of the cool stuff we're building this year when we close the round. So I took the decision that we'd change our name rather than pay to protect it when we didn't have much money.
Stella, you mentioned about people like Hayes and some of the big accounting firms. Is that for them to offer your platform to their small business clients? Is that
Correct.
So it's you to B to C, basically?
Yes, but also if you think about it, for that large accounting firm, if we think about the future of work, 5% of their business is made up of contract workers. When you speak to those organizations, they look after their employees, but as the contract workforce become more important to us, often they just deliver the bare legal minimum. So we offer an opportunity to be able to look after everybody in your workforce with the new flexible nature of work.
Yeah, lucky enough to get some of the benefits that you're talking about working for a larger company, but when I ran my own business, it was a bit different.
Yeah, and look, it's something silly. It was a silly idea because I had my own business, and then we realized actually this affects lots of people, and this stuff is incredibly important. You know, the doctor in the middle of the night is definitely something that just, you know, work is kind of here, but you have to be standing to be able to do whatever we do in life.
And do you see it constantly going B2B to be able to scale that globally?
So contractors can come on directly now. So if you're a self-employed, we have self-serve onboarding. So it takes about 20 seconds to sign up to Pirkx and get access to a doctor. So that's for everybody. Clearly, with the close of the pre-Series A, that will allow us to consistently improve. You know, we've A/B tested lots of our acquisition channels, but it will be able to.
You can finish the sentence, Stella.
Oh, thank you ever so much. The whole point of trying to win this is that we get our message out there and that people know that we're here if they need us.
Fab. Well done, Stella. You wouldn't know. You couldn't tell the morning you've had. So well done. We've heard from our 6 brilliant finalists in the first 2 categories. Before we move on to the other 2 categories, I think we'll take a short break. This will allow everyone, but especially our judges, to take a 5-minute breather and gather their thoughts. So feel free to step away from your computers, stretch your legs, do some star jumps, or go and make us a cuppa. But a tip from me, don't fill the kettle too far or it will take too long to boil. We'll see you back here at 11 o'clock. Thanks. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're feeling suitably refreshed and ready to watch our next 6 finalists pitch. Gosh, that's a bit of a tongue twister. We are moving on to the FinTech, Data Science and Cybersecurity category, and up first is Alex Harris of Adadot. Alex, how are you?
Let me just unmute myself. I am good. Let me just share my screen. Hopefully everybody can see what I'm presenting, but do let me know if that is not the case.
Yeah, it's up on the screen and it's in presentation mode. So just start in your own time, Alex.
Perfect. Lovely to meet everybody. I'm Alex Harris and I'm the founder of Adadot.com, and we are the world's first fitness tracker for work for technical teams. Now, the problem that we're solving is actually quite a large one. A lot of developer teams are struggling. 83% of developers are actually experiencing burnout, and about 67% of employees globally are essentially struggling daily at work. Now, why is this important? It's because it's impossible to improve or you can't see on measure. And most teams would use about 6 different tools daily. Most of the information they have in their disposal is primarily task-based. So a task, if it's in completion, if it's in progress, but nothing that can give them an overall understanding of whether they're getting faster, better, and whether they're burning their people out. And this is essentially what we try to do with Adadot. And the way we do that is through plugging into software that companies and teams use daily, things like Slack, GitLab, Jira, and Google Workspace. We use the signals that these softwares produce, and we then actually calculate metrics on our side. So we look at the way people work, collaborate, and feel. Primarily well-being is the last pillar of that. And we actually produce recommendations and benchmarks so that the teams can actually see what good looks like and understand that on a global basis. We recently launched the Product Hunt, which is a really famous global site for launches with 5 million audience. We actually conquered the #1 product of the day spot, which was a great success. Now, in terms of essentially us and with the team itself, we're a few more than this, but I'm kind of showing you the main people. Our background academically is from Oxford, Imperial. We've worked in unicorns like Ocado, and we have fantastic advisors and investors like the ex-CEO of Microsoft and the ex-head of corporate strategy for Microsoft as well. So quite a heavy Microsoft and Google representation on there. The way we're different to what's out there in the market is through actually data. We have a very unique data model, which is actually based on a model and a framework that Google created. It's called DORA, D-O-R-A. And we actually won an Innovate UK Smart Grant off the back of that to collaborate with the University of Warwick and create a more kind of like AI-friendly solution. In terms of the market is a large market. We're talking about kind of 35 billion TAM. Obviously, the future of work is changing. So more remote working, more hybrid working means a solution like ours are needed. And we have a clear differentiation. We're the only tool in the market that looks at work, collaboration, and well-being in one. With regards to our kind of ambition in the future, what we're looking to be is by the end of 2022, have data on 1% of developers and become the #1 single source of truth for professionals globally by 2026. We are getting close to time. I would imagine Elizabeth would probably give me a bit of a ring for that. But yeah, this is me. Any questions, welcome.
Spot on time, Alex. Judges, your questions.
Hi, Alex. So well-being at work can obviously be quite a complex problem with multiple different influences. So what data points or insights are you actually gathering to ensure the data is holistic when you're providing a full picture of somebody's well-being?
Yeah, so we are basing our own data framework on DORA. So DORA has been created by Google, has been tested on 32,000 engineers, and specifically it's a model that links harder signals, like things how work has been processed, segmented, and actually produced, to softer outcomes, things like job satisfaction and things like well-being. So this is something that in a way already exists. We take it a step further and we're adding collaboration metrics on top of that. So essentially, the point is that we can see not just how work is being segmented, we can see who you're working with, how you're working with them, which is a key component of how well you're feeling within work. And we also look at things like boundaries that you have at work, and if you're working extra times, too many times too often, and finally how fragmented your attention is across the board. So it's a very classical kind of framework. We just make it data driven.
How are you actually gathering that data on job satisfaction, for example? Is it like surveys, or what is the data behind it?
So most of our data is passively collected. Okay. So essentially we can see how essentially somebody is working. We can see the productivity curves. We can see their collaboration curves. We can see their boundary curves, what I mentioned earlier. So part of that data is actually kind of, you can measure the outcome from those components. And we also form a really short kind of feedback form that we serve through the platform. So we can then tie the outcome to the signal and measure it kind of like in a predictive way as well.
And from the 5 million audience that you presented the event, was that how many people have you got as future customers when it's ready to be launched?
Yeah,
when they can buy it.
Yeah, so amazing. The amazing thing that happened is it broke our analytics system. So I genuinely have to give you a bit of an estimate because it just stopped tracking after a point. Basically, there was so much traffic that the analytics system kind of couldn't handle it. Obviously, that was a third-party tool, but we had more than 1,000 sessions on the site, which is actually quite a lot for the website. When I talk about 5 million, is their total audience, not how many people were on there on the day. But yeah, I would like to give you a number. It's impossible because we broke our analytics.
And what's the specifics of your sort of go-to-market model to get those signups, to get people to pay for the service?
Yeah, so we already have paying customers. We have essentially a group of 3 companies at the moment, which are kind of like our first few pilots transitioning to full licenses. Part of the innovation is down to the business model as well. So we are the only system right now that can be used by any developer. They don't even need to have a team or a boss. They can just literally a single person use it in the same way that a fitness tracker would work. So we have our bottom-up approach, and then we're also entering businesses at the team level, the same level that would pay for Google Analytics, that would pay for Jira, that would pay for those tools.
Thanks.
Well done, Alex. Okay. Yes, our finalists have been split into the regions for the finals by letting us know where their closest Eagle Lab was. So the finalists that you see today selected either Bournemouth, Brighton, Oxford, Birmingham, Jersey, Southampton, Cranfield, Cambridge, Stratford or Guernsey as their nearest lab. So that's how we split them between north and south of England, in case anybody was wondering. Moving on to our next disruptive innovation pitch, our next FinTech, data science and cybersecurity pitch, we have Katrin Herrling of the Funding Exchange. Katrin, how are you? I can see your slides, you're still on mute.
It's not okay. Can you still see me? Because it says it has just quit.
I can see your slides, and yeah, I can see you.
Okay, good. Can you hear me? You can obviously hear me as well. So I guess Zoom just told me it quit, but I'm assuming this is now working.
You're still here. Your slides aren't in presentation mode yet.
Yep, should be now.
I think there is a wee bit of a lag.
Presentation mode.
That's it now, yes.
Zoom is playing up. I apologize for this. It still tells me it's not working, but I'm assuming this is now working, so I'll just go ahead.
Can I just ask the judges to Can I ask the judges to confirm that they can see? Okay, that's the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see. Thanks, Katrin.
Okay, just when you're ready.
Perfect. Absolutely. I'm Katrin Herrling, founder and CEO of Funding Exchange. We have one single mission in our life, which is to make SME lending more accessible, affordable, and sustainable. The reason we've chosen to solve this problem is because UK businesses have traditionally found it difficult to find the right finance solutions for themselves, as there's little transparency. And actually funders are finding it hard to find the right businesses they want to support that align with their risk models. We're solving this problem by using digital eligibility and affordability assessment that allows businesses in minutes to understand what solutions are available to them, what's the cost, and what are the terms available to them. We have used that digital affordability platform to drive our marketplace. Our marketplace has supported more than 1 million businesses to date, working with the largest price comparison websites, challenger banks and accounting partners, as well as providing referral services to the largest banks, including HSBC, Barclays, etc., and funders. Given the success of our digital platform, we've been asked to white label our technology product and have launched in the last year a solution through FXE technology that provides banks and funders access to our technology platform through 3 solutions: embedded lending, a direct SME journey that is white labeled and provides access to banks' own financing products, Smart Finance Hub, digital solution for the broker market, and portfolio monitoring, which provides in-life assessment of portfolio risk in existing contracts. To give you one case study around how we work with our partners, portfolio monitoring is a solution we developed originally under the BCR funding that we received in 2020, a £5 million grant, where one of our partners, Shawbrook, worked with us to build a portfolio monitoring solution that enables these partners to understand changes in the risk profile of in-life customers. We've used this solution to help Shawbrook support its customers through the crisis by being able to support businesses that are experiencing difficulties of repayment of lending contracts and helping reschedule repayments, and thereby preserving the viability not just of the lending contract, but also supporting these businesses through a difficult period. What makes us unique is that we're able to capture risk rules of our bank partners. We provide an interface that allows banks to share their risk models with us, and thus we reflect in our risk assessment the risk rules of these banks. Underpinning what we do is deep analytics that leverages the marketplace we have and the hundreds of thousands of customers that we've seen. This is an example of how we use data that's newly been made available in the market around bank account data. I'll stop there. Just finishing the last sentence, we've seen 10x revenue growth over the last year and have strong traction with key names in the market.
What are you going to be doing in terms of, there's very much I can see scaling in the UK, but are you going to be scaling, any plans to scale internationally, and how would you do that?
Brilliant. We are looking to go into the US with one of our reseller partners. So we're working with one of the core banking providers in the asset finance market currently, who have about 50% market share in the US. they're looking to bring our eligibility and affordability assessment into the US as part of their core platform as an add-on module. We'll be raising a Series B to support this at the end of this year.
Hi, Katrin. So a quick question from me. What would you say are your kind of 3 key milestones over the next 6 to 12 months?
That's a really good question. So the key milestone in the UK for us is to scale our portfolio monitoring solutions so that we have 20% market share. That's a quite ambitious goal, but that's where we're aiming to go. In the next most important milestone from my perspective is to get a foothold in the US market with our partners. And the third one, won't be surprising, is to successfully raise our Series B at the end of the year, where I'll be working with my female CFO to have a dual female-led team in the market raising funding.
Katrin, I might have missed this on the technology, but how do you make sure that the platform has the latest information in order for that to be served to the inquirer?
Yeah, so we're integrated via APIs to different data providers, including all of the credit reference agencies, Companies House, accounting platforms, etc. So we ingest a huge amount of data that allows us to actually assess these businesses based on live data. And this today, we're leading in the assessment of bank accounting data through the CCDS scheme that was opened up 3 years ago, and using that data, which has been incredibly powerful. And being able to make that data useful to our funders has been game changing for them.
Yeah, I know there's a gap in the market here.
How do you see if you go on one of the missions, if you win and went on one of the missions, how would that benefit your company?
Sorry, which missions? I'm sorry.
For the prizes of winning AccelerateHER, how do you see that benefiting the company?
So I think we are probably a little bit further advanced than other businesses in this competition, but at the same time, for us, it's still about actually raising awareness of the solutions we're providing into the market. And so those opportunities are much appreciated.
And is all your technology protected?
Yeah, so it's proprietary technology that we've built. And I think the highest level of protection that we actually have is that this really requires access to the data that we've built over the last 6 years.
Thank you. If you need to, excuse me, if you need to add to that answer, Katrin, just hop on the chat for the judges and let them know. Now, back in February, all of our finalists got the chance to join us for an online pitch coaching session. And I think you'll agree it has clearly paid off, although they did already have fantastic pitches. That's what got them through to the finals in the first place. But that event also gave them the opportunity to meet their fellow finalists and hopefully start building some relationships. One of the things that I absolutely love about the awards is watching the relationships grow between the finalists and just how they support each other up to the finals and beyond. Many of them have not met female founders in their sector before, and I think we all know the value of surrounding ourselves with like-minded people and with good people. So it's great to watch. Moving on to our final FinTech finalist, we have Jessica Mendoza of Monadd. Jessica, how are you?
Hi, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen.
Excellent. That's great. That's coming up now. So just start in your own time.
All right, great. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica, and I think we need to fundamentally change the way how anyone can interact with their services and subscriptions. If you think about it, there are so many different reasons why people need to keep their information up to date. And if they don't do it, the ramifications are even grander. Their credit score can lower. They become a liability to some of the banks. They have missed bill, they're at risk of identity fraud, and there is an environmental footprint associated to this issue. Not only that, as we build more services and subscriptions, we need the ability to pause and cancel services on an ongoing basis. That is why I've built Monadd. So Monadd, it is the place where you can manage your services and subscription. And our beachhead market started with updating your address and canceling your services. At the moment, we're using AI technology and also location-based technology to do this. So we're using invoice data to be able to provide the personalized services to the user when provide the compliance, the legal frameworks and security in front of the users so they can take action securely. And because of this, and because of the security assessments that we continuously do and the data ethics standards that we have implemented, we have recently been backed by a global venture capital firm called the Legal Tech Fund, which works with legal entities and is also backed by DocuSign. How it works is that we're embedding ourselves into different systems. So we're embedding ourselves into property technology companies, into insurance companies, into digital wallets. We now have a partnership with Yoti and also the post office. And what has that done to us has significant growth. So since we have established some partnerships, we have been growing 21% month over month. And the requests that we've been sending and people have been sending via our platform have a 90% success rate. And we're continuing to see that grow. The market is significantly larger, particularly as we expand beyond the UK horizons. And our team is incredibly dedicated to solving this problem. We have a full stack of engineers working in architecture, in data protection, in NLP, and also exited founders from their previous startups that were particularly in FinTech. We are looking for anyone to come and join us in this journey, particularly as we grow and build this mission control layer to control all of your services. This is the missing piece that a lot of the bill management and subscription management companies miss, because we're proving compliance security upfront to the user and we're allowing them to take full control. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, Judge?
Trish, I think you're on mute.
Sorry, you mentioned you're backed by a VC firm. Is that, have you got like Series A money in, or is it just?
Yes. So we're just recently got backed by the Legal Tech Fund, who again, they're backed by DocuSign and some legal firms. And we still have some room open for additional funding. And that is what we're looking for.
So what's your roadmap just now then? What funding are you looking for and how long will that last?
We're looking at a 24 scope. The total that we still have open, it is about £600 that we're looking for. And the particular roadmap is to be able to finesse our product to serve the wider scope. So again, we launched the service particularly for address changes and cancellations, which is working well.
Yeah, can I stop you there? Sorry, you said it's 24 months. Is that right? And then you say £600?
Yeah, yeah. So we already have 400 committed. So this is
what we're looking for the
400,000
or 400?
400,000, yeah.
400,000.
So it's $1 million total, yeah.
Right, okay, sorry. I thought I wasn't picking it up right. Thank you.
Hi, Jessica. Yeah. Could you give us a bit more detail around commercialization? What is your revenue model?
We have two revenue models. So one is affiliate for some of the companies that are coming in and they just want to plug us very simply. And the other one, it is a SaaS model for businesses like banks and like, large enterprises. So that means that they pay for a setup fee and a small fee per bundle. So like per these transactions that people are doing per request.
And are you, from a scaling point of view, where are you seeing the scale from in terms of international countries, or are you going to just concentrate on the UK?
No, so our current funds that are in are global, but they are based in the US market, and they're really helping us to get the product into a certain level at the moment as how it stands right now. To be able to expand to multiple markets. And we're looking at North America very closely at the moment. And we have the plans for expansion are slotted for Q1 2023.
Okay, thank you for that. That's great. I always like to throw back to the previous year's finals, and the Scottish finals took place on the 25th of March last year. I don't know about anyone else, but that does not feel like a year ago. As ever, it was a tough competition, but 4 worthy winners were chosen. Ash Penley of Zoex won the CleanTech Climate and Net Zero category. Rebecca Goss of Xchange won the Disruptive Innovation Award. Sarah Veneer of Hoosmoose won the FinTech Data Science and Cybersecurity Award. And in Science and MedTech, Kate Cameron of Cytochroma was the winner. Sarah is going to join us a little bit later on for a bit of an update, so you'll hear more of her then. So that's us ready to move on to our final category, Science and MedTech. And first up in that category is Grace Gimson of Holly Health. Grace, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I love that wee bird behind you.
Thank you. That is the bird called Holly, which is the kind of front-facing thing of the Holly app.
Oh, excellent. And you've got your slides on the screen there. I'll just let you get into presentation mode and then just start when you're ready.
Perfect, thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Grace Gimson, co-founder and CEO at Holly Health. And Holly Health is an intelligent and science-backed coaching app, supporting us to turn our health intentions into achievable daily actions for long-term health results. We're a women-founded team with academic and clinical experience in neuroscience, psychological medicine, and health coaching, plus product and startup growth experience in companies like Deliveroo and Cult Beauty. Our collective strength is in pairing modern technology with evidenced behavior change approaches to solve human health problems in the most sustainable and enjoyable way. And why have we built this? Well, as a population, we're burned out, unsupported, and we struggle to achieve the right changes consistently. But there's not a lack of motivation. Over half of us are trying to improve our day-to-day health at any time, but we're just not getting the right support. Our service, which already has 13,000 downloads, is a friendly, intelligent app which offers highly personalized behavioral support, nudges, and ongoing adaptive coaching to get and stay well. We're seeing retention rates at least 4 times higher than market benchmarks, and Holly Health is already accredited within the top 2% of health apps by Orca. Through enabling tiny daily habits across exercise, relationship with food, mental well-being, and sleep, we're seeing excellent clinical outcomes in weight management, stress reduction, and problematic eating behaviors. So what's the core differentiator? Well, like working with a human health coach, the Holly app gains a snapshot of the person's current health and behaviors, helps them to identify the right specific habits for them, and then supports them going forward to achieve these changes using AI to adapt the coaching along the way. And unlike with human coaching, the Holly service is extremely efficient, affordable, and scalable, costing from just £12 per patient per year when licensed. You can think of Holly Health as either an add-on to human coaching or a standalone service in the absence of other support. We currently have 4 live NHS primary care pilots, and we're scaling these significantly. We're also setting up pilots with universities for student wellbeing and with mental health trusts. Next month, we're due to launch a significant contract with one of Europe's largest gyms as well. If you'd like to explore a pilot or partnership with us, now is definitely a great time to reach out. The market opportunity totals over £30 billion a year. We're starting in the UK, the home of value-based care, and then scaling up from there. Through mainly B2B2C service delivery with a license model, this is our planned revenue growth. We're targeting £14 million a year in 2025. We recently secured over £500,000 in government grant funding. We've raised nearly £1 million in pre-seed funding, and we expect to raise our seed round later in 2022. This will enable us to expand Holly Health up to population scale coverage. And today we're very happy to connect with potential future investors, partners, and clinicians who would like to learn more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Grace. I had just lifted up my bell there. Questions, judges?
Grace, what led you to start this venture?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I actually decided at age 14 that I wanted to build a technology optimized company to solve a human health problem. I know that sounds really weird, but I decided it at that young age and then kind of spent my career so far learning how to do it. And it's just in the last couple of years that everything's aligned and it's been the time to get going.
So, this question from me, how do you balance building a scalable solution whilst at the same time providing personalised recommendations and nudges for each person?
So there's a few different elements of our kind of back-end automated system, which are all kind of proprietary algorithms. So we have a large recommender system, a way of kind of building up a picture of someone's health through a kind of short questionnaire. And then we actually use data that comes in as you go along to tailor your ongoing coaching, nudges, recommendations. So it's actually taking all the inputs and outputs that a human would go through. And I'm a qualified health coach, so we kind of use a lot of that to kind of influence how the service works. But it's basically automating what a human does.
And would you say it's easy to copy what you've got, or is everything all protected?
This is always a question with software. I mean, you can't patent protect software. We are actually in the process of looking at where we can incorporate machine learning onto the Holly Health algorithms. So later this year, we're actually part of the government contract or government grant project that we're doing is going to explore how we can use machine learning, which would be patent protectable. I think our biggest protective area right now is that we're getting out quickly to clinicians, raising brand awareness inside the health world. And so it's kind of a speed to market thing.
And how do you intend to scale globally? Because quite a lot of the partners is sort of very UK based.
Yeah, good question. So we already have our service kind of distributed across 30 countries. So we have users in Asia, America, Canada, South Africa, all over the place through the app stores. People can just download Holly Health. And then we're also lining up some partnerships with very large American and Canadian companies to do kind of partnerships in the next year or so. And that's going to be our entry into those international countries.
And with that, who's doing similar things, producing similar product services as you?
Everyone always calls out Noom, and the difference there's an approach difference. We are very much not a diet app. We actually think that that's extremely unhealthy and causes eating disorders.
So it's the holistic piece that you're.
It's the holistic piece. Yeah. And
I saw from your chart that there's lots of market out there. Thanks. Sorry.
Grace, you can add to that question and as to that answer, sorry, in the chat as well.
Thank you.
So the past year has been an exciting one for our past AccelerateHER winners and finalists. Because our international missions were virtual this year, we were able to take more than just our winners. So many got the opportunity to join our virtual missions to Germany and California. In particular, thanks to the Scottish Government and Scottish Enterprise for funding that. In May last year, a number of our alumni joined us at the Stiftung Charity Entrepreneurship Summit. And that's a virtual health summit that normally takes place in Berlin. As part of that, there was a life sciences venture market where select companies were invited to submit a 3-minute video pitch. Fresh from winning at the AccelerateHER Awards, Kate Cameron nailed it once again, winning not only the €1,000, but also getting the opportunity to present at the World Health Summit. Well done, Kate. And I just can't wait to see what this year's finalists achieve, because they are an amazing bunch. And now for our penultimate pitch, we have Emma Amoscato of Smile. Emma, how are you doing? You're smiling away there, of course.
I'm smiling away. I'm ready. Just bring this up. Brilliant.
There we go. Just in your own time, Emma.
Okay. I've saved my son's life twice during anaphylactic allergic reactions. At the same time, my husband is living with incurable cancer. We are part of the 18 million people and their families in the UK managing chronic physical health conditions. Research shows that these people are up to 3 times more likely to develop anxiety or depression than average, which leads to poorer physical health outcomes, increased cost to the NHS, and wider societal impacts. Yet, like us, 96% of people in our research were offered no mental health support after diagnosis. When they did reach out for it, it was limited, expensive, or did not connect with the challenges they were facing. The Smile app is here to change that. We offer accessible, affordable early intervention to help people feel calmer, more in control, and able to live well alongside their physical health challenges. We understand the roller coaster of emotions that a physical health diagnosis brings for patients and for carers. And our clinical psychologists and counsellors have developed a range of bite-sized video, audio, and written content tailored to the needs of this community. All our content is based on 5 evidence-based therapies, including self-compassion, mindfulness, and cognitive behavioural therapy. We launched our beta version back in November and have had excellent feedback from users whose average mental health score improved by 29% and clinicians. We are now in an exciting growth phase. We have recently opened up the app more widely and are bringing in our subscription model next month. We have launched a series of live community workshops and are developing a platform where people can book directly with a mental health expert who understands their physical health condition. We've also secured our first grant funding and are working on an academic impact study to prove the efficacy of SMILE. We are currently forming partnerships with charities who understand the need of mental health support for their members, and also with employee wellbeing programs, as 90% of corporate healthcare spend is on chronic health conditions. I've studied the psychology and neuroscience of mental health, and this builds on my 15 years experience in digital communications. My co-founder Faye has recently left her role as Chief Finance and Operations Officer at a large healthcare startup. Together, we are seeking investment to scale our operations, to upgrade and personalize our technology, and to reach more people. In 5 years' time, we plan to have reached 1% of the UK market, equating to £7.5 million in annual revenue, and then want to take SMILE globally to support the 150 million people worldwide with chronic health conditions. Join us on our mission to improve the mental health of millions of families, just like when they need it most.
Well done, Emma. Judges, your questions?
Can you tell me how you're going to grow your team and what you need? You mentioned you've got yourself and Faye.
Yeah, so currently we have on a contract basis, we have our developers and our technology team, and we also have some marketing and admin support as well. But we would like to bring the technology in-house. We would like to scale up our marketing teams and also to bring some of our clinicians in-house. We also already have a team of psychologists, counsellors, therapists, but we would like to bring some of that further in-house with more funding.
Is part of your product as sort of a peer support as well as the one-to-one?
So that's what our live community workshops are for. So we don't have forums because we want to do it in a very managed way, because we know that a lot of misinformation can actually fuel anxiety and poor health. So that's what the live community sessions are for.
But moderated, monitored. Yeah, okay.
Hi, Emma. So totally understand why you're going for patients with chronic illnesses. How do you plan on reaching that target market?
So our first go-to-market strategy is really to reach out through other people's networks. So that's why we're forming a lot of partnerships with charities at the moment. A lot of condition-specific charities, their mental health support is very slim, and they know this. And so we're filling the gap for them. Also talking to mental health charities who aren't tailoring their need to this particular community. Also talking to other influencers and people within that space to reach out to the people that they're connecting with.
And so is there a referral process in place there? And are you commercializing that, or?
Yeah, so that will have the charity partnerships work in a number of different ways. One of that is affiliate. One of it is working directly with sponsorship and funding from them for particular projects.
And what were the price points again, did you say?
So the subscription model is £6.99 a month or £49 a year. And then for the one-to-one, we will take a 20% commission of all the bookings on the platform.
Okay, so getting the message out there is the key thing, like Daisy just mentioned.
Yeah.
And partnering is where you're at.
Yeah.
And you mentioned your ambitions start looking about 7.5 million revenue within Fit for 5 years. What are you sort of at just now? I think you've got a few partnerships and stuff in place already. Is there any income generating just now? Or is it
No, so we're not revenue generating yet. As I say, we're just about to launch our subscription model. We're just on the precipice of some of our partnerships, but no, we're not revenue generating as yet.
Okay. And what about investment? Are you needing in? What's your sort of, with the money you've got just now, how long will that last, and what will the next round be?
So we've bootstrapped up to now. We've got a small amount of grant funding, but we haven't pitched for any investment yet. We would like to secure £200,000 for the next 12 months.
And what about for going global?
Sorry, Trish, but you got a lot of questions in there. Pop it in the chat. Okay, so in addition to Kate's win at the life sciences venture market, a number of our AccelerateHER founders have gone on to secure investment in the past year, sign major deals, win other competitions, and we even had one of our founders appear in Dragon's Den. Sheila is hopefully joining me later for a chat, so she might tell us all a little bit more about that experience. But a massive highlight for us at AccelerateHER was our sister company, Investing Women Angels, having their first exit with their portfolio company floating on NASDAQ, making us the first Scottish angel group to achieve a NASDAQ exit. We view the co-founder and chief operating officer of TC Biopharm, Angela Scott, as one of the first AccelerateHER founders that we helped, and we are extremely proud of everything that she has achieved, as we are of all the founders that we work with. And now, last but not least, after waiting patiently for over an hour and a half, we have Lucie Hayter of The Gut Feeling. Hi, Lucie. Are you hanging in there?
Hello. Last but not least, hopefully.
Absolutely. Do you have slides to share?
Nope, you've just got me today.
Perfect. Just start when you're ready.
Cool. Okay, so at The Gut Feeling, we are building smart gut health. Why are we doing this? Well, 40% of the global population are currently suffering with a gastroenterological disorder. I started The Gut Feeling because my gut issues became very severe 10 years ago. I was often so bloated that I couldn't fit into my clothes. I couldn't go for a run. I often couldn't go to work. I did what most people do when they have gut issues. You go to your doctor, present your symptoms, often not a particularly helpful conversation, and you end up on Dr. Google buying random supplements and solutions that don't help. It took me the best part of 6 years to understand what was going on and to identify the root cause of my issues and start to get better. And along this journey, I became very inspired about gut health. I started a subscription box, which became the #1 gut health subscription box on Google. I built a community of 4,500 people, and I brought on our lead scientific advisor, who is a global leading gut health researcher, Dr. Emran Mayer. And it became very clear that people are spending decades of their lives with these mental and physical symptoms, trying to understand through trial and error, writing notes on their iPhone, scraps of paper about what they ate 3 weeks ago, to try and understand what's actually causing them. Why are we doing this? You know, we know that data is so much better at spotting patterns than we are. And so we have built an app to help speed that up and get people back to these happy, healthy lives. So our app helps people with gut issues and their clinicians understand more about their gut health triggers so that they can prevent symptoms. So for example, going into your personalized dashboard, you can see, for example, like, why was I bloated yesterday? Was it the big glutinous bagel I ate? Or actually, was it the fact that I did a 10K fasted run, drank 3 cups of coffee, and I was really stressed, for example? So we're in beta testing, and the way that we make money is through a small proportion through B2C app revenues. So that's through app subscriptions, that's through alternative subscriptions, and also some tests. And then B2B, so through white labeling our app and giving the app to the dietitians, the GPs, and the nutritionists that have helped us build this app so far and who want it for their clients. And then also we're already in talks with potential partners in big pharma. So for example, actually I probably shouldn't say who they are, not on this call. And we're looking at how we partner with them to provide curated anonymized insights on how to build more products and services for these people who are massively misunderstood and underserved by traditional healthcare. So I'm Lucie Hayter, I'm the founder of The Gut Feeling. I spent the last 5 years working in startups and management consultancy, building solutions just like this for leading global corporates like Walgreens Boots Alliance. My CTO has spent the last 5 years leading development in an innovation lab where he builds apps integrated with wearables for private healthcare companies. And so we firmly believe, and we know that 70% of our immune system is in our gut. this isn't just about the gut and IBS. This is about the gut and psoriasis, the gut and Alzheimer's, mental health, and cancer. We are here to prevent illness with data. We've already had traction. We've had this #1 gut health product. We've built this community of 4,500 people ready to launch to. And last year, we had a letter of intent to acquire us by a company worth billions. We're now raising pre-seed to grow the team, conduct research, and scale our users. Thank you.
Well done, Lucie. Thank you. Questions, judges?
Hi, Lucie. Took me 2 years to get diagnosed. I'm so sorry it took you 6. That's terrible. How much data do you need to gather on an individual before you can start providing them with their personalized recommendations? Because food diaries, it's so hard to pinpoint things like that.
Yeah. Great question. So I think, first of all, it's understanding it's not just about food for some people. So it's looking at other lifestyle factors. So when we work with our leading gut health researcher, we looked at these different pillars of what the things that could affect. So looking at your sleep habits, looking at your fiber intake, caffeine intake, hormones, all of these things affect our guts. And I think there's this huge misconception that it's just about food. In terms of how long it takes, so we know that people doing this through trial and error manually, like it can take them years. We obviously think we can do that a lot quicker. We don't know how quick yet. As I mentioned, we're doing beta testing, and we know from just 1 week of using the app, people have learned things about their lifestyle and are able to change certain things to reduce their symptoms. So that's why essentially we are raising this pre-seed, is to basically go and work out how long that takes. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. And one more question from me, if I might. So obviously IBD, IBS has such a broad range. And when it comes to kind of Crohn's and colitis, when things get kind of serious, do you have education around when symptoms might actually become more serious and when they need to go and get kind of GP support?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that we're looking at this is we're looking at kind of gut health things going on. So we're talking about things like bloating, feeling really bunged up, that kind of feeling. But when you go through our user app journey, we make sure that we are flagging things, are you experiencing blood in your stools, for example, and a couple of other symptoms, and encouraging people to speak to their GP, especially if they have these symptoms. But we're also making sure that people aren't using this as an alternative to going to see their GP, and encouraging, if you're presenting these symptoms, like please go and speak to your GP. That's always going to be your first point of call. We're here to help you manage your kind of gut health and well-being.
Great, thanks.
And you mentioned you've got a team of, there's 2 of you there. For you going to be scaling, how are you going to scale your grow the team, and where are the gaps at the moment?
Yeah, so myself, my CTO, were actually supported by 2 amazing Kickstarters. So they help us with various things like marketing, bookkeeping, etc. We know that we need to take on some more experienced talent around marketing. We know that we need further administrative support. We hope to bring on our Kickstarters. But I think also the key gaps for us in the next kind of like 1 to 2 years are things like app design. We know we're going to need to bring on data people. We've pinpointed people from our previous careers that we know we've got our eyes on a few people that we want to take on. So that's our hiring plan so far.
You've built your community, Lucie. Where are you in bringing those on board in terms of paying for the service?
Yeah, so despite the fact that we haven't really talked very much about our app yet because we've been conducting this beta testing, we already have 100 people on a wait list, but we have this 4,500 people that we literally just need to turn the tap on. We haven't shared the app yet, but we're very excited to.
Thank you.
Lucie, add to that in the chat if you need to, although you'll need to be quick, because now that we have heard from all of our finalists, we're going to send the judges away to a judges huddle to decide who the winners are in each category. Judges, you should have an invite in your calendar to invite you to a separate huddle, and then come back on this same link once you have made your decision. You'll be ably assisted by our very own Elaine Bone, who I think might be already waiting for you there, and she's going to make sure that there's no fights and that you're back here by 12:20 to tell us who the winners are. In the meantime, we're going to take a very short comfort break, and then we're going to come back to hear from our rising star, followed by a catch up with a couple of our past AccelerateHER winners. So we'll be back here at 11:55. Welcome back, everyone. Well, what a morning that's been. Weren't our finalists absolutely amazing? I would not want to be a judge. I imagine there's some tense conversations going on right now. So good luck to them. Now it's time to tell you all about our rising star. So this is a founder who shows amazing potential, but is maybe a little too early stage to make it to the finals yet. In 2019, we had Dr. Carla Brown of Game Doctor. In 2020, it was Monica Elhashi of Polydigitech. In 2021, it was Elaine Ford of Electric Explorer. On Wednesday, we were delighted to present Yumna Mohammed as the rising star for the north of England, Northern Ireland and Wales. And yesterday it was my pleasure to announce Victoria Fullerton of Toto Sleep as the Scottish rising star. Today I'm delighted to present Joy Foster of Tech Pixies, who gets the pleasure of presenting her 3-minute pitch for you without the pressure of judges' questions or my bell. Joy, over to you.
Myself. Okay, I'm unmuted. Perfect. Wonderful to be here. Thank you so much. I'll just share my screen quickly and we'll get started. I've got 3 minutes. Here we go. So this is Carrie, and Carrie came to us during the middle of the pandemic. She lost her job as a supply teacher, and we helped her create a vision board using Canva. And she decided she was going to have 5 students at the end of 2020. Well, I got onto a coaching call with her at the end of 2020. And she had a problem. She was fully booked and had no more time to serve any more people. So what was she going to do? Well, she was going to raise her prices and do group coaching. I got a message from her yesterday. She said, all is well, just wanted to send you a thank you. She had done a Dream Builder workshop with us. She's visioned this house she wanted to build, to buy. And with the money that she's making from tutoring online with children with math anxiety, she is now able to be financially independent and own her own home. This is a woman who was on universal credit, who lost her job as a supply teacher in the pandemic and has completely transformed her life through our program. We care about community, curriculum, and coaching. We have a program called Social Media Mastery. There's over 750 women who have participated in this program. We've won multiple awards. We've been featured in many of the major press outlets. Our podcast now has over 50,000 downloads. I haven't updated the slides since we got our latest numbers in. We have over 236 5-star reviews. The program has a 98% promotion score. People would love to recommend this to their friends, and they do. We have life coaching element that people find very, very valuable. And 93% of women say that their confidence has improved since the start of the course. So what we're doing now is we're looking to raise money to expand into helping women in tech careers get more confidence within their careers to move up in the industry. Only 5% of women in leadership roles in tech, only 5% of leadership roles in tech are women. We want to change that. We know it works in getting women back into work. We want to help women move up within work. We're also looking to raise money to take some of our software that we've created in Google Sheets, Slides, and Docs and turn it into real software as a service. The women who've gone through our program and learned how to leverage social media effectively have been using our reporting tools for years. They've been signing a non-disclosure agreement to do that. So we want to raise money to turn that into SaaS technology. And the final thing we want to do is we want to expand beyond the UK. We obviously have a lot of growth within the UK. The system works, it's amazing, and we'd like to bring that to the rest of the world. So thank you for letting me pitch to you today. I'm delighted to be here.
Oh, Joy, that was fantastic. And I did time you, just out of interest. You were well within the 3 minutes. Well done, great pitch. What drove you to do this?
Well, 2 things. One, I set up a web development company and I was working with teenagers who had long-term unemployment risk, and their mothers were saying to me, I want this program for myself because I've had a career break and I want to go back to work. And the second thing was that every man I spoke to said, my wife needs this, my wife needs this. And I thought, okay, well, let's solve this problem. Let's take educated women who've been out of work and get them back to work. Now with the pandemic, we're working with a lot of women who want to start their own careers. They were made redundant. They lost their jobs. They lost their financial independence, and we're rebuilding that. But also I'm a mother of 2. I've had 3 career breaks, 1 to train for the Olympics, 2 to have children. And, you know, for me, it's important that women can be financially independent no matter what things interrupt their life. And now I want to work on helping women who are in those careers, stay in those careers and build those careers as well.
I have to ask, train for the Olympics in which sport?
Archery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So my husband's an Olympic gold medalist in rowing, and we met through rowing, but I then went on and did archery for 2 Olympics. I tried out for the 2004 and the 2008 Olympics.
Oh, amazing. So we'll look out for your children in the future in the Olympics then with pedigrees like that.
My 12-year-old daughter's taller than me.
Fantastic. Well, listen, Joy, I know you do have to dash off to something else. I won't take up any more of your time, but you know, do keep in touch. I'd love to see you in the finals next year. So do enter again, and good luck with everything.
Thank you so much.
Well done, Joy. Gosh, it's not often you get told that someone's had a career break to train for the Olympics, so that's something a wee bit different. Now, the finals are not the end point for our finalists. At AccelerateHER, we are passionate about accelerating the growth, backing and visibility of female founders so that we can keep in touch and support our winners and finalists as much as we can. I've been having an online monthly catch up with many of our finalists over the past 2 years, and I thought it'd be nice for you guys to get a wee catch up with them as well. So I'm delighted today to be joined by 2 previous FinTech, data science and cybersecurity winners. I have Sarah Veneer of Husmus, who was the 2021 winner, and Sheila Hogan of Biscuit Tin, who was our 2020 winner. Ladies, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I have to say, Elizabeth, I have thoroughly missed your bell. Like, I've been sitting here Googling to myself. I'm like, I know what that feels like. I love it. Makes you disciplined.
Absolutely. I did wonder if you both would be suffering from PTSD.
No, I love it. I love it so much. Actually, full disclosure, I told someone on my team about it and they've got a bell. So that I can't overtalk during our 15-minute catch-ups at work. So it's like a bell goes off. It's like, sorry, Sarah, that's your time.
Well, I've never thought about using it in team meetings. I might start. So did you catch any of the pitches? What did you think of them?
I mean, I'm always blown away by what people are doing, what women are doing in tech, in business in general. I mean, like you say, like, you know, people are taking breaks to work in the Olympics. People are making businesses that are really helping people out. I love it, and I love what you guys do here at AccelerateHER, and I'm really glad to see that it's expanding and that other companies such as Barclays are joining in and seeing the value. Yeah,
thanks. It's great. Ladies, I'll start with Sheila. So she's not got a word in edgeways past you yet. Sarah, then that's unusual. But Sarah,
I've got high competition in Sarah.
Absolutely. Sheila, remind us, what is Biscuit Tin?
Biscuit Tin is a deaf tech company. It's a digital secure vault that holds all your life information, from accounts to wishes to memories and documents, that is then passed on to those you nominate when you die. And it's all about empowering and enabling everyone to plan in advance for the death. And it's born from my personal experience of having to close down the lives of my parents, armed with an old biscuit tin full of old papers, and finding out that the whole thing is completely broken and it needs transforming. So yeah, that's us at Biscuit Tin.
Great, thank you. And it's a fab solution. And Sarah, remind us about Husmus.
I mean, so Husmus exists for one sole purpose: to make private renting inclusive and affordable. And we're doing this by embedding financial solutions into an automated rental process, because our users are able to save money through our personalized insurance packages. And more importantly, we're removing bias from tenant selection processes so that more tenants can easily access homes. Because I mean, I don't need to go on about the cost of living crisis at the moment, and many people having suffered through the pandemic now unfortunately find themselves in a situation where, because of those past financial difficulties, they find it difficult to access homes. We want that to not be the case. We want it to be based solely on their rental behavior, rather than whether or not, you know, they pay their credit card bill consistently for the past 15 years or something like that. So that's what Husmus is all about. It's about getting people access to homes and making it affordable for them to do so.
Fabulous. And I think affordable is a word we all want to hear at the moment. Sarah, it's a year since you were here pitching to us. Tell us what's been happening with Husmus in that time.
Goodness, time flies, doesn't it? I mean, so it's been really good for us actually. So we've our win here kind of helped us like springboard into a number of other things. We've grown in all of the aspects that we're tracking. So from a product point of view, we've launched our product, which is the financial solutions that I was saying that tenants can benefit from, which not only helps tenants to get that affordability, but it also helps landlords because then they're not worried about whether or not their rent is going to be paid or not. So we've launched that to great success. We've also grown the team, thank goodness, because we were able to raise investment from a lot of the promotion that we got from the competition. We actually joined Barclays Eagle Labs ourselves, and so off the back of that, we got some investment in-house, and then we've expanded the team. So we're now, I think when we did the competition, we were a team of 3. We're now a team of 5 and looking still to recruit into the marketing space as well. And yeah, and our users are happy, which is the main thing. So yeah, we're maintaining a really high user satisfaction score of like 8-9%. So we're proud of that, but we can do better, I think.
That sounds pretty good though. Well done. And Sheila, 2 years. What a 2 years since you won. Our finals in 2020 took place 2 days after the country went into lockdown. We'd had 10 days notice to turn it into a virtual final, but our finalists all showed up online and pitched in what seems like second nature now. Sheila, I know you've had your ups and downs this past 2 years. Care to share
Definitely.
what you've been up to?
Yeah, I can actually. And then suddenly 2022 seems to be our year, which is absolutely fantastic after 2021. Feeling a bit tough in places, very tough, which I'm sure there's a lot of other founders had a similar situation too. So yeah, since 2020, that year, I actually won the COVID Response Innovate UK competition, which kind of saved us and helped us progress the tech a lot more, because we'd just launched in February 2020, just before the pandemic. And I'd spent I was self-funding the company. I spent all the money on building the tech. I didn't have any marketing budget or anything to grow the team. So I was kind of reliant on pro bono resource or kind of ad hoc, consultancy people helping me out and things like that. So the Innovate UK money helped keep us going and keep us afloat and things like that. And then we also pivoted on our kind of route to market strategy. Originally, we were going to go direct to consumer because, our brand is a consumer brand, right? But in terms of the route to market, originally, we'd assumed that we could get organic growth from the social media platforms. By February 2020, that was outdated and the algorithms have got it all stitched up, as I'm sure all you ladies know. So we pivoted to be a B2B2C brand, but then didn't want to kind of, every other business being in crisis management, we didn't want to kind of like go to them, and start saying, come and partner with us kind of thing. So we didn't really do anything until the start of last year. And a lot of the business relationships that we're looking at, there's a long lead time with the financial services companies, the banks, the building societies, the insurers, even lawyers and things like that. There's quite a long lead time for that. So yeah, but last year I filmed for Dragon's Den. They approached me to see if I wanted to go on there. So that was last July, which was very exciting, but I couldn't speak about it, which I found extremely tough. And I have to say a personal thank you, Elizabeth Pirry, for supporting me with that financial lead up, to Dragon's Den. Elizabeth very kindly spent many hours with me, kind of coaching me on the financials. It was a bit of a challenge that we were going through a remodeling phase in terms of projections at the time. Didn't finish them until the day before filming of Dragon's Den. So the drive down to Manchester, my husband driving, me sat in the back trying to cram in all these financials, was a bit stressful. Filmed for the Den. But then couldn't speak about it at all. So it kind of became a bit of a surreal experience. And then suddenly, and then meanwhile, I'm going for what I call my real investment round. So I went from a first pre-seed round, and Fortunately, that closed and I got the money the Friday before the actual Dragon's Den episode aired, because I hadn't got any investment from the Den. Not surprisingly, because they're not tech investors and I was pre-revenue at the time. So anyway, bottom line is there was an absolutely incredible, surreal week, right, where I closed the investment round on the Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. As part of the award that I won in 2020, we went on a California trade mission with Silicon Valley, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday evening of that week, and then Thursday evening, the Dragon's Den episode aired. And since then, seriously, my life has been like phenomenal. The thing has just blown. You know, Biscuit Tin's awareness has been raised. I mean, I've had, you know, lots and lots of pledges of investment, not that I can take it right now, but I might be able to take it towards the end of the year. Lots and lots of pledges of investment, loads of partnership requests. You know, we had 10,000 hits within 4 days on the website, on the back of it. And now I've got the first round of investment money, I've been able to start the recruitment of the team. So it's just and oh God, since then I've won a trip to Silicon Valley as one of the top 20 Scottish up and coming tech companies. So I go there in 2 weeks. 2 weeks tomorrow, I'm off out to Silicon Valley and been nominated for some kind of top 50 European women in business kind of thing. So yeah, and in the press constantly. So it's just very, very, very exciting.
It is, and I am so delighted for you, Sheila. And I can see Sarah clapping away there as well. This is what's talking about, everyone supporting each other. I was laughing because Investing Women was in the Herald yesterday. There was a piece that Jackie had been interviewed for, and Alison was going through it this morning. She said, "Oh look, Sheila Hogan's in this as well." And in fact,
and Julie Grieve.
Yeah, Julie Grieve as well. And I think there was someone else as well. It was full of AccelerateHER, which was great.
Nice.
Lovely to see you all succeeding like that. How was the Dragon's Den? Would you recommend that people go for it, Sheila?
Definitely. I cannot fault it. I mean, basically, you've got to go in with you sign your life away, though you can't guarantee, you know, how it's going to be edited in any way, shape or form. And I think, you know, I was more nervous at 7:30 before it aired on February the 10th than I was when I was walking into the den, right? Because you're just in their hands of the production team in terms of the way they edit it. I was fortunate that the producer obviously liked me because in the round, yes, he did a bit of good TV. There were a few kind of cringy bits in the middle that, you know, that I kind of felt a bit uncomfortable with. But in the round, you know, the way he let me finish that segment, right, was just phenomenal, right? And the fact of the matter is, right, the most important thing to me, right, I remembered feeling like this when I was stood in the den, right? Oh my God, I'm as proud as punch. I have got my mum and dad on the telly. And because there were a picture of my mum and dad there, and I could feel them, right, being as proud as punch at me being stood there. And so it made me really proud. And yeah, so bottom line is I got my mum and dad on the telly, and you know what? So it's just been phenomenal. I mean, I could not have predicted the response that we've had. I mean, something new comes in every day. It's still coming in because people, you know, all over the world watch it at different times, don't they? So it's kind of like, you know, we've had to speed up our international, you know, plans on the back of it, because things are coming in from lots of different places all over the world. So yeah, I would say, you know, you've got to go in with your eyes wide open though, right? And know that there is a risk. I mean, the chair of my board was adamant he did not want me to do it. And he really, I was kind of like in a bit of a quandary about what to do, but I trusted my gut and my instincts. And I thought, no, I cannot let this opportunity's come to me. I have to play it out to the best of my ability until it finishes. And thankfully I did. I trusted my instincts and I did it.
Yeah, because I know when you told me, and Thank you. I was very privileged to be taken into your confidence for that, Sheila, and I enjoyed helping you with the figures. But I remember when you told me, we've been very concerned, just because I know how sometimes they can portray people in the programme, and you'd had such a tough year behind it. I was worried about how they would portray you, but it's all worked out great in the end. I do get very protective of all my finalists and winners. Sarah,
you can't pay for the press, like as you say, Sheila. You know, like if you were to spend marketing on to get that kind of results, you'd be spending hundreds of thousands of pounds. So
I think millions, to be honest, Sarah. Seriously, how would you get a 12-minute advert on prime time telly on BBC One? You just couldn't, could you?
Certainly not with what I've raised so far. No, I'm spending that on engineers.
I know. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, but I'm super pleased, super proud of you, Sheila. I think
thank you, Sarah. I think we're all proud of each other.
Yeah,
it's really good. I mean, you know, in terms of these finalist sessions, as Elizabeth was mentioning, right? We try and get together. We can't always make it, but we try and get together once a month at the start of the month, and it's just incredible to kind of like have a peer group, you know, like that can support each other. And we've got WhatsApp groups too, you know, from things, and it is an incredible support mechanism. It is.
Yeah, it is. And Jackie and I sit back and watch it happen. We kind of sort of light the wick, and then you guys just take it with you. So it's fab. Sarah, you've been doing a bit of encouraging of your on your own, haven't you? You've been sharing some stuff about Black founders. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that?
It's one of my well, you guys know me. I can't complain about something for too long without feeling like I have to do something about it. I can't just keep saying there's a problem without trying to figure out a resolution. But yeah, I mean, I you know, as I mentioned, I raised some funds myself, but then I realized that, you know, I was in a very privileged position. I was one of the very, very few Black female founders that have raised external investments. And I thought, that's not right. I don't want to be part of this like super teeny tiny group. I want everyone to get the opportunity to do so. So I thought, okay, well, how can I improve the situation? What can I do? And I was doing a lot of panels and conversations with people, and what I found to be the theme coming out is that there were a lot of angel investors out there who wanted to invest in minority founders, but then they didn't have the time, because as you guys well know, most angel investors have jobs of their own. You know, they don't have time to sit there and curate lists of female founders. So I thought, okay, well, if your problem is that you don't have time to go and find these people, I will go out there and I will go and find them for you. And I will give you a nice shiny list that has been curated and approved by a couple of other kind angel investors who've given up their time to sieve through these applications as well, and present them to you. And then you don't have to stress like about, you know, going to find people and curating them. And here's just a list of 30 people for you who are raising at the moment for you to pick from. And it was great because we had many different categories. Most of them were fintechs and health techs, which was like really great. But people building, as I say, such phenomenal companies that I think sometimes people just need a hand with getting access to investors and just getting their name out there. So I thought, you know what, if I can help, then that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Sarah, and you know that's the driver behind AccelerateHER, and investing women angels as well is a big part of it is visibility, and hopefully the awards helps with that. I'm interested to know, ladies, what did you learn from taking part in the AccelerateHER Awards? What did you learn?
Don't tell anybody about timing bells. First, lesson one. But yeah, I mean, because I was a little bit lucky. I don't know if you did this as well, Sheila, but I did the boot camp beforehand. So I did learn a lot about how to present myself and my company, and just to distill things down into the super important parts of things, because you know, you go out there, you talk about your company a lot, and you have to be there just to, like, you know, you meet someone, what is your company doing? You just have to like bang it out like immediately in a concise way that helps people understand what you're doing. So I think that was one of my biggest learnings. My second biggest learning is like all that rubbish that people say about women don't support each other is just a whole bunch of, well, rubbish, because there have been loads of women I've met through this this avenue that do support each other genuinely, wholeheartedly, with both time, effort, and many times money as well. So those are my 3 learnings, if I could.
Excellent. Yeah, I think it's the support thing. I keep saying it, but I love watching it. Given that you're in competition with each other as well, certainly at the stage these ladies are at, you know, but you're watching you help each other with grant applications and everything. It has been great. Sheila, very quickly from you, because I see our judges popping back into the room. Okay. So what have you learned?
I just think it was an incredible kind of foundation. You know, one, I think we should all be putting ourselves out there for any type of awards anyway, and just really celebrating what we're doing and celebrating every single success. But the other thing is it's like a passage of rights, I think, to actually getting that real investment and giving you the confidence to go out to you know, investors and you know, selling your wares, if you like. So yeah, I think it just a confidence building, and certainly you know, celebrate your success.
Yeah, terrific. Listen, ladies, I could talk to you forever. We will catch up again at the start of April, which isn't very far away. Nice. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you for having us, and best of luck to everyone.
Yes, good luck. Can't wait to see the outcomes.
I know. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So this is it, folks, the moment of truth. The judges are back in the room. But just before we hear who the winners are, I've got 2 things to say. The first thing is that you're all in the privileged position to be hearing live who the winners are. Now, we'd be extremely grateful if you keep it under your hat just for a few hours more to let Louise from Message Matters get the press release out so that the press will cover it. And then after that, shout it from the rooftops, absolutely. Tell anyone that will listen. When you're paying for your shopping at the supermarket, tell the checkout assistant. But just hold on to it for a couple hours more at the moment. And secondly, just to all of our finalists, Jackie said it before, I think I've said it as well, you are all winners. To get to this stage, to be the finalists, you are the top 3 in your category in the south of England. So you have done so well, and whatever happens in the next 5 minutes, you are part of the AccelerateHER family, and you're part of the Barclays Eagle Labs family now. So we shall start with, in the order they pitched in as well. So we'll start with CleanTech, Climate and Net Zero. And just to remind you, our finalists there were Molly Allington of Albotherm, Zhixuan Wang of Algreen, and Claudia Gwinnutt of Circla. And I believe we have Trish McClay, who's going, oh, I just looked at my message and see that Trish is not back. Has she not come back? Oh, I really wanted Trish to get the chance to announce the winner, but do you know what? See, since she's not here, I never get to do this.
She was having a little bit of a challenge earlier with the tech.
She's just messaged, she's here, she can see and hear. Trish, can we hear you? Oh, do you know she's gone in as a... Alison, can you move her to panelist?
She's coming in now.
I thought I was going to get to announce a winner there. Never mind. Trish, I will let you do it. This is now like an X Factor pause while Trish gets herself sorted.
I was wondering why it looked different.
Trish, will you put them out of their misery? Who has won?
Oh, this was so hard. So congratulations, the winner is Algreen.
Well done, Zhixuan. You look absolutely stunned.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's such a surprise. I'm so happy about that. Thank you so much.
It was really hard. Well done. You did brilliant.
Thank you.
And commiserations to Claudia and Molly. It was 3 great pitches, and I will say actually the judges took even longer today than they took yesterday, so I'm guessing it was tough to make those decisions. And of course we want you all to win as well, because you're all fabulous. Thank you very much, Trish. Well done, Zhixuan. Next up, we shall have our winner from Disruptive Innovation. Now, as a reminder, the finalists there were Lynsey Cowlishaw of Heroine Media, Nina Jane Patel of Kabuni, and Stella Smith of Pirkx. And I'm going to ask Susan Elliott of the British Business Bank to join me on the screen here and to tell us who the winner is.
Yeah. Thanks, Elizabeth. And like all of them, great pitches. And this particular one, very different businesses, but through lots of deliberation, we've pinned our award onto Heroine City.
My goodness, thank you so much. That was really unexpected. Thank you.
Well done, Lynsey. Thanks very much. Really good and interesting, doing something different, trying to look at the female edge on gaming as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much, guys. This means the world to me. That's amazing. Thank you. You made my week, my year. Thank you.
Well done, Lynsey, and to Nina and Stella as well. You did fantastic pitches. And again, if only we could have 3 winners in each category, but it wouldn't be a competition then, would it? So what would be the point? Well done to Lynsey. Next up is FinTech, Data Science and Cybersecurity. And the finalists there were Alex Harris of Adadot, Katrin Herrling of Funding Exchange, and Jessica Mendoza of Monadd. I'm going to ask Daisy King from Barclays to come up and announce the winner there, as with her special interest in FinTech.
Hi everyone, thank you so much. They were all amazing pitches. So the winner for the FinTech category is Katrin from Funding Exchange. So congratulations to you, well done. We're so excited to see what you go on to do and hope that the trade mission really kickstarts your success in international markets.
Daisy, thank you so much. I feel we have a real mission to help other businesses in the UK, so I really appreciate the support from you in supporting our business. Thank you so much.
Oh, brilliant. Well done, Katrin, and commiserations to Alex and Jessica. As I think I said earlier, a couple of our winners yesterday had entered in previous years, so come back next year and enter, because you never know, being that year further on, you are all fabulous. And for the final category, we have Science and MedTech. Our finalists in that were Grace Gimson of Holly Health, Emma Amoscato of Smile, and Lucie Hayter of The Gut Feeling. You will have noticed we've run out of judges, so it makes sense, of course, to ask our CEO and founder, Jackie Waring, to come on screen and tell us who's won this one.
With great pleasure, Elizabeth. My goodness, judges, I don't know how you decided between 3 such fabulous businesses, great female founders. They were amazing pitches. Congratulations to everybody with some amazing businesses building here. But I am delighted to announce that the winner is Emma Amoscato from Smile. Congratulations, Emma. That was really, really awesome. And commiserations to Grace and Lucie. But we'll see you again, I really hope, and I don't doubt you're going on to achieve great things as Emma is too. Congratulations.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jackie. I did not expect that. Yeah, fantastic. How exciting. And then, congratulations to everyone else. I've been completely blown away by everyone's pitches today. So yeah, feel very grateful to win my category. Thank you.
Congratulations, Emma. That smile has got even bigger. I didn't think that was possible. Fantastic. And yeah, Lucie and Grace, well done to you as well. Well done to all our finalists. You really were just fantastic. And I'm blown away. What a week I've had watching the 3 finals. Jackie and the rest of the team will agree with me. So that's a wrap. And all it remains is for me to thank a few people. I'll start with our amazing judges, Daisy, Susan and Trish. I think it was only Trish I had to ring the bell on. I'm really sorry, Trish. Please don't take it personally. You did a great job, and I don't know how you managed to choose between them, but well done. I have to thank the AccelerateHER team, Alison Jones in particular, who has been my right-hand woman doing all the tech throughout the week. I think her and I are going to lie in a darkened room now, but she's done a great job. But also to Holly Bruce, Caroline Mitchell and Elaine Bone for all the hard work they've done since the launch of the awards, and before that, in fact, right through the whole process. I absolutely could not do it without them. And of course, to Jackie, who does a lot of that hard work as well, but most importantly, she started all in the first place. We wouldn't be here without her. So thank you, Jackie. Our partners, Barclays Eagle Labs, an absolute pleasure to work with. It has been a delight to take the awards UK-wide. I think it's safe to say it has been a success, and I can't wait to see what we achieve together in the future. And of course, I have to thank the finalists and indeed all our awards entrants for stepping up to the plate and showing just the very best that the South of England has to offer. You are all absolutely amazing. To those of you watching from your office or your living room or wherever, thank you for watching. I hope you now understand why I say that I have the best job in the world. And with that, as is my norm, I'm going to hand to Jackie for the last word.
I'll keep it short, everybody, but what I want to say, there's one obvious omission from the list of thank yous, and that's to Elizabeth for being the absolute best MC and having done, as you got to hear through Sheila in particular, so much more going on behind the scenes. And that in fact applies to the whole team. As you can see, what we do here at AccelerateHER is absolutely from the heart. We really, really, really want to support all of you as female founders to go as far as you can. I can't wait to see all of you that we've seen, winners and finalists alike. You're part of our community now. We want to hear how you're getting on. I was thoroughly inspired by what Sheila and Sarah were saying, the progress that they've made, but also so nice to hear what they've got from being part of the community, that resilience, I think, that we help each other. And it's just so important when you're on this journey. So, and just wow to all our founders. What an incredible morning this has been. Every one of you truly inspirational, feel thoroughly invigorated. So thank you to everybody and look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.